When doing an EIDL reconsideration, should you consider the amount of denials that are happening in your state? This is a Thursday bombshell from LALATE on May 21st. Thanks for tuning in. As always, like and subscribe to this channel and drop your comments below, and we may feature them in tomorrow's recording. But today, we're going to be answering your incredible questions on the EIDL Loan Denial Reconsideration story we did yesterday. I think this is day 4 of this series. Now, before we get to that, let's get to the news. A lot of you have asked about this document, which we had shown, I think, almost about 7 days ago. I forgot I still had a copy sitting around. So you have been asking if you think that EIDL loans are being denied based upon certain regions. And you know, it's one of those things we really don't know, but as I detailed when I first showed this document. This document is from SBA. It's on their website. You can download it. It was produced, it's data through late April. And if you look through it, it talks about each of the respective states and how much in dollars they got for EIDL loans. Now, I don't know if that's including grants, and how many approvals of loans that they had. We also detail this in a story on the website. And the title of both the video and the story was the same, that if you look at this proportionally, the number of loans that are approved in states less impacted by COVID-19 is much higher than states that were rampant, that really suffered horribly because of COVID-19. Example is basically the following. Vermont and New Hampshire got a lot of money for EIDL loans where COVID-19 cases were low, compared to New York, where COVID-19 cases were very high. Now, if you look at the total number of loans paid out, California is astronomically higher. It's not even close. California is $1.9 billion. If we go to New York, for example, it's not even close. New York is $356 million. I mean, so you have California at $1.9 billion in loans, and I'll get to the number of loans itself also, versus New York at 356 million. I mean, it's really kind of disconcerting. You know what's right next to New York on this chart is North Carolina, which, according to their governor, thinks that COVID-19 cases was not much of anything. Well, New York had 1,674 loans approved. North Carolina had almost the exact same number. And North Carolina had almost the same amount of payout as New York, where North Carolina is a much smaller state, had very few COVID cases compared to New York. So it's really not fair. California had nearly 9,000 loans approved, whereas New York had 1,600. I mean, it's really disconcerting. So a lot of you have been asking, has certain states get worse treatment in this EIDL loan process? And, you know, I will add the following. It's not exactly certain, but it is believed that EIDL loans are processed on a regional basis, that they have loan centers that are getting these for different parts of the country based upon where your business is. And so it looks like, at least when you look at this data, that California got treated very well for EIDL loan applicants, but in other states did not do well whatsoever. So that might answer your question. Now, how to do an EIDL loan reconsideration, when to do it, what goes into it, watch yesterday's video, which is Wednesday's video. We actually did a screen share. But let's get right to your questions right now. So Hugh Smith, can you tell me why I was declined for the EIDL grant, and why does my credit score matter to get a grant that was mandated by law? I never applied for a loan. I don't know. I didn't know you have to have an $800 score just to get a government grant during COVID-19. Please explain. Very well said, Hugh Smith. Here comes my rant. When we first launched this channel, one of our very first videos was basically said this. The EIDL grant says on its website you're supposed to be paid within 3 days. You weren't. It said that that the document was self-authenticating. It was not. It said that it was to pay you $10,000 per applicant. It did not. In fact, nothing on that streamlined application ever came true. It is truly a debacle. It's a digression. That form was based upon the clear language of the CARES Act. Everyone wanted a grant. Everyone wanted $10,000. They applied and did the paperwork well, many of you watching this channel, and got nothing. Nothing. And I don't mean $1,000 or $2,000. Some of you got nothing. And it's not quite clear why. Some of you in the vortex of 330, 331, and 48, were cast into a vortex that just to say we don't know why there is a vortex. And out of that vortex, you may have been offered a loan, or if not, you got nothing. And so it's very disconcerting. Line imagery. Hey, LALATE, I just got my credit ran from SBA 47, spoke to 2 tier reps. The loan is being still processed. They said I can get my grant, but not yet. Grant, thank you for all your hard work on this channel. Thank you, line imagery. So as we've indicated to you, if you get your loan approved now, you're going to get the grant. If you don't get a loan approved, you're not going to get a grant. But if you want to know when your grant's coming with the loan, call SBA. Don't let it fly. Mickey Wilson, thank you. Following your advice to be more proactive, I call the SBA every week. My loan was denied in April, but I discovered my 2000 grant was still owed to me. Huge thanks. Well, Mickey, great to know that. That's very weird. Olds W30 called SBA rep who told me you hear about the EIDL loans 4 to 6 weeks after you got the advance. You will either get an email for the portal or a denial letter by mail. Oh, interesting. First time we heard that. That's a bombshell 6 minutes into here. DeFlow next chapter. Great screen name. I called SBA and they said the grant is a loan advance and I won't be getting it if I already got my loan. Absolutely true. Honorio Soto. I just called SBA. It didn't take too long. My application was done. I was told I was able to resubmit a letter of reconsideration. Do it and follow our channel and follow the videos about it. Anthony Grasher got an email from SBA. It's either the SBA or a really good scam. I read this one yesterday. So he got an email from SBA. And it was asking for banking information. He didn't know if it was a fraud email or a real one. My advice is if you get anything like that, you pick up the phone, call SBA. You don't give that information over the internet. Moreover, you shouldn't be sending banking information by email. It's not secure, so never do that. Oscar Delgado, my application was denied due to economic injuries less than the grant provided. I understand this may be one that you take the gross revenue minus cost of goods sold and divide by 2. The amount is less than the grant. I went back to my application and realized the amount of cost of goods sold I entered included all my utilities, which I should never included. We don't manufacture any goods, so my cost of goods should be very minimal. I submitted a request for reconsideration, provided details of my error on the part. I received an automated response, said that my request was received and would be processed and the order was received. I called SBA and asked them how long the process takes, and the rep could not give me a timetable. Interesting, Oscar. So if you need to supplement it, which you may need to, watch our videos and make sure you got everything in there you need to put in the reconsideration. A lot of great questions. If you have questions about your EIDL reconsideration, drop them in below by Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Watch our videos. Watch our videos at the very end. It helps the algorithm. And as always, stay with LA for more.